Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And I am sure that title grabbed your attention. That's right. We are here to talk about a controversial topic. Boxers or briefs? You know, see, like me, I'm a boxers guy. Briefs just happen to pack everything together and, you know, things rub and it basically skins the potatoes, if you know what I'm saying. Now, boxers just let everything free out, you know what I mean? It's kind of like an intense game of tag. You just got all this freedom. It's just happy fun times. That's right. Now that I've successfully made you guys uncomfortable and kind of hopefully chilled you out a little bit, and you'll never look at potatoes the right way again, I want to talk about Battlefield 4. A lot of people have been asking me, Pwn, do you think people are dying too quickly in Battlefield 4? Do you think from the beta, do you think they're trying too hard to be more like COD? And I know this is a very controversial topic, and my answer to that is kind of. What they're trying to do is they're trying to dive in two main directions. And that is aiming towards close quarters combat and aiming towards competitive. And with those, they're attracting the Call of Duty crowd. They're conforming to what the majority of people are playing to get in that competition, to get that fan base. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as Battlefield retains what it really truly is and still has those maps that many of us enjoy, it's going to be okay. I think Battlefield 3 started losing what Battlefield was, not trying to disrespect anybody, when they stopped it. I miss those jungle maps because it was all about, you know, needing the armor, needing to push up, needing to do stuff. And when it became more urban and buildings and everything like that, it just kind of lost base of what it was. Think of it, Battlefield 3, the most played map was Metro. Even though it was a beta, 2 years strong, Metro was the most played map. Second place, Canal's TDM. So as much as we love Battlefield for being what it is, with jets and flying and vehicles and big maps and taking objectives, that wasn't always the priority, and the majority did not actually play those. The old long-term Battlefield guys respect that, and that's what separates Battlefield from the other games, is it has that aspect to it where, you know, vehicle gameplay and map control and dominance like that is very, very important. But what they're aiming at now is a competitive and close quarters crowd. They're trying to attract in younger kids, younger demographic that like to just run around, shoot, and have fun, not have to think, and just want to shoot and kill shit after school. And that's perfectly okay to me. Now, when people say people are dying a little too quickly in Battlefield 4, I don't think it's because they made the weapons stronger. A lot of people just think they've made it so the weapons are stronger. I think with the lack of suppression now, that you're just seeing the guns do what they do now. This is what they do when they're not interrupted or, you know, deviated from suppression. Now, you know, I used to be comfortable, for example. Perfect example, some of you guys probably have the same exact experiences with Battlefield 4 so far. I used to be comfortable running across the street in Battlefield 3. I look both ways right now. I pray to Jesus. And I hide behind tanks. I don't cross anymore. It's just one of those things I don't feel comfortable doing it. Because, and you all have experienced this too, I'm always getting in fights in Battlefield 4. In the beta, I was always getting in fights. And when I died, I thought it was the guy that I was actually fighting. Or the guy that was right in front of me. It's logical. Turns out it's some guy like 40 feet away from me somewhere else. I almost never died. As soon as I died, it wasn't the guy that I thought killed me. It would show me some other guy that I didn't even know was there. You know, you probably said the same thing. You probably noticed the exact same thing. It was always some guy that you had no clue where he was, and the camera follows and chases this guy down like, where the fuck was this guy at? And it's because everything is moving a little bit more fast-paced. There's still cover, there's still things like that, but things are becoming a little bit more congested. I think the map that they gave us was horrible to experience with domination. I love the new game types they're bringing in. They're attracting a little bit more of a fun crowd with obliteration. Conquest will still be what it is. Rush will still be what it is. So it's still going to have the key experience for Battlefield. But with the lack of suppression, it's just raw gunplay now. It's going to be people killing each other. There's not going to be needing to put crazy suppression down or anything like that anymore. Things are slightly changing, and now that they're aiming at a more competitive scene, you're going to have a lot of these game types and everything designated for people to try to play. And what most people don't know is with them trying to take in this crowd of playing in a competitive scene, there is a slight obstacle, and that would happen to be the hurdle of trying to get people and sponsors and money cranked in from things involving the PC community. You're going to need these sponsors to come in and pitch money to get these things running up and running at these events and stuff like that, and that's not the most common thing in the world at the current time, especially seeing as how MOBAs have the main focus right now. The money is tied up in those, so it's more common to see, and I would expect that it would be more likely to see if Battlefield 4 does have a competitive scene, I would not be shocked if it was actually on console. So I think they're putting a lot more importance into close quarters. I find if it does go competitive, you're more than likely going to see close quarters matches. You're going to see it be ran on domination and game type similar that you would experience from Call of Duty. And I'm not trying to say that to complain or to piss people off. That's generally how I feel. That's what they're going to do. So where all of these people are appreciating what Battlefield is, I find that if it ever does get to the competitive scene, that it's probably not going to be as large scale as we think. There's already a competitive following and teams and everything out there that do things how they're done. But if the big money comes up and they're really trying to ramp up exactly what they're talking about with competitive, I think console's going to have a major importance. I find that's where the large mass following is going to be. And I honestly feel that if it does get into that kind of high important competitive issue with Battlefield, that it'll be circled around smaller infantry-based game types, and that's not going to make a lot of people happy. But that's just my theory, my feeling. We'll see where that goes in the next 6 months to a year. But that's just completely where I feel about it. So I think with them trying to attract the closer quarters, I find with them trying to remove suppression, it's all just a move to bring in new players, even things out, make things a little easier for console, and try to aim towards a new demographic and pull in a lot of younger people that are just going to casually want to play and shoot things. And it's not just standard TDM now. They're going to have closer quarter situations. But I feel that's where the popularity is going to be, and that's what they're aiming for. So I feel that they are kind of pushing away from what made Battlefield big, but it'll still be there. And they're only doing that for more money and more numbers, which is obviously a smart thing to do. So that's my theory on the idea. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's becoming more like COD. I think it's a safe bet. I mean, Battlefield can survive as both. It can be both. Just because it's got close quarter stuff does not mean it's not Battlefield anymore. Because those people that love what Battlefield is and always has been can still have those there. You'll still have your rush and your conquest and your large map and your vehicles, but it'll also have these close quarters, domination, TDMs, stuff like that are more commonly expected from games like Call of Duty. So that's just where I stand. I find, you know, the evidence is there, things with on-map weapons. They're trying to aim towards a competitive scene, trying to make it more arena-based, trying to make it close quarters. And that's just the things that I'm observing and noticing. And that's the path I think they're taking to try to bring in a new crowd and try to get competitive more important in the community for Battlefield 4. So that's my theory. Leave your own down below. This is probably going to be one of the last times I compare COD and Battlefield, but a lot of people have been asking me, do you think people are dying too quick? Do you think it's becoming too much like COD? Do you think they're bringing in all these new game types to just lure them in, or do you think they're trying to change their path? And with that, I just think time will tell. But those are my theories. That's what I think they're going to start aiming to do. Leave your opinions down below, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like on the video. It helps out a lot. And see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Stay nice. Like my potatoes.
Awesome. Awesome to the max.